His Republican Senate nominee for Arizona, Kari Lake. Good to see you, lady. You and I both made our living under the First Amendment back when we were both doing news. That only protects, free speech, the First Amendment, but also the freedom of the press. And here comes Tim Awals, says there's no, quote, guarantee to free speech. He's from the same party that denied a choice in the primary and then denied their own voters a voice in Kamala's coronation. Isn't it the Democrat Party that represents the biggest threat to our republic, our freedoms, and democratic principles?
Absolutely. They've become the tyrants our founding fathers warned us about. Maybe somebody needs to remind Tim Pon about the First Amendment and maybe show him the Constitution. And yes, I was a trained journalist, a fair and honest journalist for 30 years. And so it's really shocking to me to see so many people in the news media who seem to be okay with this, who aren't fighting back, who aren't pushing back. I mean, we just saw here in the story is breaking right now in Maricopa County in the town of Surprise, where a woman was criticizing the mayor of the town, was detained and pulled out of the meeting by a police officer. In Maricopa County at the Board of Supervisors meetings, they're no longer allowing public comment because these elected officials don't want to be criticized. Now, we should see the media stepping up and covering this ad nauseum and saying this is outrageous. These are elected officials. We should be able to criticize them. It's our duty to criticize them when they do something wrong. But the media has gone radio silent. All you hear are crickets from them.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a Washington Post reporter a couple of weeks ago suggested that the government could do something to suppress free speech of President Trump and Elon Musk. It was crazy. Kari, today marks 3 years since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris teamed up to deliver the worst foreign policy defeat for the United States in the modern era, the catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan. Earlier this morning, Trump visited Arlington National Cemetery, honoring the lives of the 13 service members who died in the Kabul airport bombing. Meanwhile, Harris has nothing on her schedule, and she was a no-show. And Joe Biden on yet another vacation. Other than our common humanity, and even that's in question at times considering Democrats' actions, I find little in common with these people. How about you?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I just got a lump in my throat looking at that video of President Trump, a true leader. Our commander-in-chief should be honoring the lives of these men and women. And, I guess I understand why Joe Biden's not there. He caused their death. His recklessness, his disastrous foreign policy caused the deaths of these young men and women, these heroic men and women that you're seeing on the screen. And he didn't even have the courage to say their names. I remember him looking at his watch as caskets were rolling by him. It's just despicable. And this is why the people are going to reject Kamala Harris. They're going to reject her at the ballot box. And this is why the fake news media, truly the enemy of the people, are out there trying to roll out an extreme makeover on the most unpopular person to ever enter politics, Kamala Harris. They're trying to now all of a sudden turn her into the most popular, superstar in politics, and the people can't stand her because of policies like you just mentioned that caused the deaths of some of our heroes. So it's going to be interesting going into this election. The people are really going to have to narrow down where they're getting their information and keep all of the fake news from their sites, because we got to focus on the next 2.5 months to get out there, get people registered to vote, because the fake news media is working overtime to try to help Kamala Harris. And if we allow that to happen, we're going to end up with not only more disastrous foreign policies, disastrous domestic policies, but we will plunge into 1,000 years of darkness, as you stated earlier.